When the Multinational Force and Observers stood up in 1982, the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions formed the core of the U.S. participation. A little more than 2 years ago, the National Guard took over the peacekeeping duties in Egypt, and every 6 months, a new infantry battalion rotates in for service in the Sinai.
The mission did not change, so the soldiers coming here, but the mission didn't change. So what we're doing versus what the active duty did, there's really no difference.
The first of the 125 Michigan National Guard is the latest infantry battalion helping implement the 1979 Treaty of Peace between Egypt and Israel. They had just over 2 months to get ready for duty.
We were activated at the end of October. We went to an activation site back in the United States. There we went through testing to validate that we know all the soldiering skills.
For an infantry battalion ready for war in Iraq and Afghanistan, peacekeeping in Egypt was a mission that sent them back to the books in the weeks leading up to their deployment.
We're used to wartime task of conducting an assault or an ambush or defense. And so what we did is we transitioned after our regular annual training period and stopped any of the warfighting skills and tried to transition to peacekeeping skills. Still the same skills as far as individual tasks of observe and report, is still communication, our situation reports and so forth, are a lot of similar tasks, but the idea of peacekeeping versus warfighter skills, there's a difference here, and we try to make that transition.
Because the MFO mission doesn't make headlines, many didn't even know the U.S. Army was in Egypt.
We learned why the MFO exists, how it was created, why it was created. We learned about the history of the Sinai, the previous wars between Egypt and Israel, and then we learned about our specific duties while we're going to be here. What exactly is allowed in each different zone of the Sinai, what to do if we do see a violation, how to handle the violations.
The mix of National Guard and active duty Army units working together in the Sinai is one more example of the one team, one fight concept.
The soldiers that are down in the southern part of the Sinai in Sharm el-Sheikh and manning those sites from the Michigan Army National Guard, they do 6-month rotations. So by the time they will be ready to rotate out this summer, another National Guard unit will come in and fulfill their place. And it's always an infantry battalion that goes in to replace the infantry battalion from the National Guard that's down there on the southern side. What's so unique about Task Force Sinai is not only is it's a one Army concept. Can you tell they're National Guard? Can you tell they're active duty? You can't. One Army, one patch.
As long as Egypt and Israel are committed to peace, National Guardsmen as well as regular Army soldiers are committed to keeping that peace, a peace that has endured for almost a quarter of a century. In the Sinai, Kane Fairbaugh, AFN News.